Hey guys, this is Aaron from Repair Parts USA, and I'm here today with a video showing you how to repair the screen on an iPhone 7 Plus. So the first thing you want to do is you want to power down your phone. So you do this by holding the side power button on the lock screen until you get this notification that says slide power off. So we're going to do that. Now that the phone is off, next thing we want to do is to remove the bottom pentalobe screws that are right next to the charging port on the phone. Once those are removed, we're then going to proceed to remove the LCD from the frame of the phone. I'm going to use my suction cup tool and a pry tool as well. It's just what I've found works best for me. You just want to pry up a little bit and apply just a bit of pressure. And then with your other hand, put the pry tools in. So you can see with the suction cup, just a little bit of pressure, I was able to pop that bottom off enough to get my thin metal pry bar under it. And I just want to work my way around and leave that in there. Take my suction cup tool off, set that to the side. So now I have my pick and my pry bar. Just want to work around the phone. Just being careful to pry up gently. There is a thin adhesive under the edge of the display. It helps for waterproofing and keeping dust out. So you want to be mindful of that. If you're having trouble with the suction cup pry tool method, you can apply a bit of heat from a heat gun or from a hair dryer to the phone. It'll help loosen up that adhesive. It'll make it a lot easier to get this off if you're having trouble. But I'm not having too much trouble with this adhesive. So and again, you want to make sure you don't go in too deep, because there are a lot of very delicate components inside this housing, as you could imagine. As you can see, this is lifting up. You want to work it backwards just a bit. I'll show you in a second, but there's hooks that slide the LCD under the frame. There we go. So you see, here's this adhesive I was talking about. It's everywhere. And there's these two hooks that slide under the screen. And so you want to work it backwards, and then you can pop it off. Alrighty, I'm going to lay this down for a second. This to give me some space so it's not completely on the ground. Never mind. Next thing we want to do is use our wide tip screwdriver bit, and we are going to remove these 4 screws. So this is just a metal bracket that is covering a lot of connections to the motherboard. Oh, come on. Dang it. I'll get that screw later. So with these screws, you guys want to make sure that you organize them however you want, whatever's easiest for you. Because they're all different sizes, so you just need to make sure that whichever one you got it from goes back in the same place. Come on. There we go. I just dropped one of those screws into that little space right there. I was trying to get it out. Okay. Now, next step. We want to remove the battery connector. So that is this connector right here. I'll point right here so you can see it better. Right there. That connector. You can tell also there's a thin cable that runs along the side of the battery, connects connector to the battery. And with this, you want to make sure you're using a plastic tool or anything not metal, because if you do use metal, it can short your board and you can have some problems. Next step is gonna remove. Zoom it in for a bit for you guys. Going to remove these 3 connectors right here. These are holding the metal bracket in place for the front proximity sensor, the camera, front facing camera, all that good stuff. Again, you want to make sure you keep your screws organized. Just wanting to fall all over today. I'll come back and get that later. And there's one more screw back here. There we go. Now, I want to remove this connector right here. Just pry up on it. Very gentle. Then we're going to move down, farther down. There's 2 connectors right here that we want to remove. One right there, one behind it. There we go. Now we can take this LCD, set it to the side. Zoom the camera back out. Now I'm going to see if I can get that screw out. There we go. Got him. Alrighty, so now we're going to take this phone, set it to the side, and we're going to take the LCD we just took off, bring that over here, then we're going to work right here on this front proximity sensor and camera. So these are Phillips head screws. We're just going to take all these off right here. There is a total of 5 of them. 2 on top, 3 on bottom. There we go. Now this guy right here can come off. Set him to the side. This camera folds over. And right here, this metal thing, this is the speaker. That comes out. Now, the fun part. So this display is glued in. So what we want to do, zoom that out just a bit. I'm going to take this pry tool, and you want to be super careful, because these things are very easy to tear. You just want to pry around it, trying to loosen it up from the display without tearing it. So again, sorry, I'm just working around it, prying up from all the different sides. Just trying to work it out. It's like origami. It's folded paper. Gotta unfold it, get unstuck. Alrighty, there we go. This front camera is off and good to go. Next thing we're going to want to do is remove the metal bracket on the back of the phone. Which, let me zoom out for this. I'll zoom out all the way. There is, actually, let's remove the home button next. It's not too important what order you go in. Find my Phillips head. So here, oh, these are Y-tip. Here we're going back to Y-tip screws. There's 4 of them that are over this bracket. And I found that these screws are the most important to keep in order, because especially for the screw that goes over the home button, because if you screw a screw into it that's too long, you over tighten it, whatever, it can actually damage your home button, and that's no good. So then we're going to take this metal bracket off, like so. Next, we are going to remove this connector. Is connecting the home button to the screen. So I just take a thin tool, slide it in between like that. And you're going to fold that over. I'm holding it with my finger. And then just going to pry up from behind. This is glued down, and it's very easy to damage as well. So I'm making sure to put a lot of pressure down, not this way because I don't want to rip it. So I'm putting pressure down, like into the plastic LCD part of the phone. This white part, I'm putting pressure into that. Then I'm kind of slowly lifting up on the edge, but it's the best way for me. That's what I found. Helps me not rip this cable. And there we go. That is loose. And then that pops through there, falls through. Boom. Got our home button out. Now, we're going to remove the back bracket. So I will zoom this out. There we go. So here, I'll bring it up closer so you can see, hopefully. Right there, there's screws along this edge that you're going to want to take out so you can transfer this to your new screen. And my hands are getting in the way, but there's not too much to dissect here, or digest, sorry. I'm just taking the old screws out. Looks like the screen might have been opened up before because it is missing one. And then right here, there is, oh sorry, right here, there is another screw. Take that out. Alrighty, now we're just gonna pull this out. sure we're not damaging it too much. There we go. Our old LCD is good to set to the side for good. Now, we got our new LCD from Repair Parts USA, and we are going to thread that metal bracket through those holes, lay it down like so, and then we're going to screw this guy back in. Start with that one. That one's actually a Phillips head. That's why I'm doing it first. The rest of these are wide tip around the edge. So this is the not so fun part of the job. Gotta screw a bunch of little tiny screws back into place. And it is not the best. And this screen was missing one of those wide tip screws on the edge, like I said before. It's probably been opened up or something in the past. Not too sure the history of this phone. That's not a huge deal. It's missing one screw. It's not going to hurt anything too bad. So there we go. Metal bracket is back in place. Now we're going to go back down to the home button. So, with the screens you get from Repair Parts USA, there is a thin protection thing. So I like to pull it off, and then I set it back down just over, over that home button hole. So this will still protect the screen from scratches while you're doing repairs, but you need that hole open so you're able to thread the home button through it. So that's just something I like to do. You guys can take the adhesive film off completely if you're working on a soft surface that isn't going to scratch your phone screen, your new phone screen. Then it's up to you. So I'm going to lay that down, and zoom that in for you guys. So we're just laying that down right there. Then that old connector we were talking about, we're going to reconnect this one. Boom. And you can hear it snap. I don't know if you can hear it on the video. That's how you know it's in place. A nice solid connection. We're going to lay this old bracket back over it. Like so. Make sure the screw holes line up. And then we're going to screw these back into place. There we go. Now, I'm gonna go to top portion of the phone where we had front camera display and everything. So here's our camera ribbon thing, ribbon cables and all the connectors and everything. So that's what it looks like. So again, this is a bit, I like to say it's like origami, but you know, it's not tricky, but it takes a little bit of figuring out to get where it goes. So where I like to start is, you can see these two plastic pins, these white pins sticking up, touching them with my needle nose pliers. So then there's two holes right here with these 4 gold circles. So that is, those 2 pins go in the 2 holes. So that's where I like to start, easiest way. And then everything else kind of just falls into place a bit and you're able to figure it out from there. So then here, right here, up here, you can see there's that proximity sensor and everything. So there's a square hole right there, square hole right there. They go in there, they each go in their own respectively. And you can tell when they're in, they won't move around. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get these in. Nothing too much to see. Sometimes these go in real easy. Sometimes you gotta play with them a bit. And there they go. Now they're sitting in place nicely. Sorry that took a little while, but just want to make sure they're in there good. Otherwise they might not work properly. A whole other host of problems. So then these 4 gold circles that are sticking out on the earpiece, boom, 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 line up with the 4 gold circles on the bottom. And then you're going to lay that camera over there. And that kind of snaps into place. There you go. Hold that for a second. Get that metal bracket over. And boom. Then we're just going to screw this back in place. And there's the last one. Cool. Our new display is looking good. Now we're going to get our phone back. Set that down. Just going to reconnect all these ribbon cables, however you want to go first. Doesn't really matter too much. I'm just going to start here with kind of covering it, but I'm just reconnecting this ribbon cable. Maybe. There we go. I don't know. Okay. There we go. You heard it snap, maybe, hopefully. That one. I like to do the top one first, usually. Just because it's a bit twisty. It's kind of weird shape, so usually it's easiest to do that one first. It's the hardest one to do. So that's what I do first. There we go. That one's back in. That one's back in. And then we're going to reconnect this battery. It looks like it's already connected, but it's not. It's just chilling on top of the connector. So there, boom, push that back into place. So our phone will start back up. And we turn it on. And then just going to set this back here to prop it up. That way I don't have to hold it. Take that old, I guess it's not old. Take that. Screw this back into place. Oh, sorry if I'm covering the screen. Magnetized tip on my Y screw isn't working too well, so that's why I'm having trouble. Man. There we go. Yeah, you guys want to make sure you get magnetized bits for your screwdrivers. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot harder than it needs to be. There we go. Everything's back into place. We can now proceed to shut this. And we're just gonna, like I was talking about before, those hooks, we're gonna slide the screen under at the top first, and then we can work our way around the edges and just push down. Boom, boom, boom. Just go around the edges, make sure everything looks nice. Not loving that. It's okay. And then we're going to take our bottom pentalobe screws, screw those back into place. Alrighty. Now we're going to hold that power button on the side. And there you go. Peel this off. There is our new iPhone 7 Plus screen. Thank you guys for watching.